They say absolute power corrupts absolutely. But what happens when power becomes pleasure? This is not a legend, not a myth. This is the true story of a ruler so cruel, even his own people begged the heavens to curse him. A man whose name was erased from prayers, whose palace became a tomb of screams. It began in a forgotten kingdom, somewhere between the mountains and the mist, a land bathed in blood and gold. The king was born during an eclipse. The priests called it an omen. They were right, he was not born cruel. As a child, he was quiet, curious, obsessed with life and death. He dissected animals to find their soul. When his mother died, he sat beside her body for 3 days, refusing to let anyone move her. They said he wanted to see what happens when the soul leaves. As he grew, his fascination with suffering became obsession. He studied torture devices, poisons, and human anatomy, not to heal, but to understand pain. His tutors feared him. One vanished. Another was found at dawn, missing his eyes. When his father died, he ascended the throne, young, brilliant, and completely unhinged. His first decree: to know loyalty, I must know fear. Within weeks, he began testing it. He'd invite nobles to grand feasts, then have the wine poisoned, just to watch who died first. At first, people called it discipline. Then came the disappearances. Whole villages emptied overnight. Prisoners were never seen again. He turned his dungeons into laboratories, experimenting with silence, starvation, and despair. The walls of his castle were lined with hooks. The moat wasn't filled with water, but with ash and bones. Travelers spoke of seeing faces, hundreds of them, staring out from the castle walls, their mouths sealed shut with molten metal. They said he believed pain could reveal the soul, that through agony, the truth of humanity was exposed. He once locked his soldiers in a burning barn to see how long bravery lasted. None survived, he wrote in his journal. They screamed my name. That is loyalty. His madness grew with his empire. He taxed the poor to build statues of himself, not in marble but in flesh. Criminals were skinned alive, their bodies arranged as monuments of obedience. Every year he held a festival, a celebration of purity. Only those who obeyed blindly were allowed to live through the night. Even his enemies began to avoid war. They said it was better to bow to a devil than fight one. But eventually, the kingdom rotted from within. His generals betrayed him. The people rose, only to find the palace empty. He had vanished. Years later, explorers entered the ruins. They found a throne room, burned, shattered, and cold. On the walls, carved by hand, were words written in his own blood. The soul never dies. It only hides in the archives of Europe. There are records, censored, sealed, and forgotten. But one letter survived. A diplomat described visiting the court of a king, who impaled his enemies, boiled them alive, and dined among their bodies. He called him the son of the dragon. History would later call him something else. He was Vlad III of Wallachia, Vlad the Impaler, the man who inspired Dracula. To his people, he was a ruler. To his victims, he was not human. To the world, he became eternal, the face of darkness itself. Power doesn't always reveal who we are. Sometimes it creates something new. And sometimes, the monsters we fear most are not born in nightmares. They are made by fear, by betrayal, by the hunger to never be powerless again. He ruled for only a decade, but his shadow still rules us all, because darkness never truly dies.